see you. Have a seat.
Thank you. Thank you for hearing me today.
Alright, well, why are you interviewing with us today?
Well, I think me and my crew would be a good fit for a fishing show.
What would you call your show if we select you as the host?
Well, we named our boat Real Hazardous. And it's just kind of how it is out on the ocean. It can be hazardous. So probably Real Hazardous Outdoors.
What makes it so hazardous on your boat?
Well, just stuff seems to happen. There's a wasp nest on there.
Oh, is there?
There are hooks everywhere, so getting that in your hand is a real possibility. It gets rough. There are a lot of goofy people who fish with us, and just trouble seems to happen. We almost hit a whale once.
Hit a whale?
Yeah, it came out from nowhere and just popped up.
You've probably heard the phrase, 10% of the fishermen catch 90% of the fish. Where would you consider yourself in that percentage?
Well, we're probably not in the 10%. We may be in the 15%. Catching 85 or so percent of the fish. Let's be frank. Most fishing shows, that's the guys catching 10% of the fish, But 90% of the fishermen don't want to watch 10% of the fishermen catching 90% of their fish. You know what I mean?
I think so. Keep going.
Yeah, like if you just doing the math here, most of these people want to see a percentile group that they can relate to. What do you think is our as seen on TV washdown hose?
What do they call that thing again?
The slinky hose.
The slinky hose. Stretcher.
Someone, who's catching, 50% of the fish.
Okay, let me make sure I got this. You're saying that
I think 50% of the time, 90% of the fishermen want to watch their people catching 10% of the fish.
how is your show going to stand out from all the other fishing shows out there?
How we fish is nothing like what you see on TV.
Goldfish. Goldfish while you're fishing. You just can't get enough of fish, can you?
We don't limit ourselves. We'll get fish however we can get them. We'll troll bottom fish. We got scuba tanks and spear guns. So, if they won't bite, we'll bite back. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all want to power hit him when he comes up or not?
We have an assortment of fish killing devices.
It's potentially real hazardous.
Yeah.
Sweet. Say goodbye. Y'all want to grab him?
So we headed out of Mayport, which is Jacksonville, Florida, northeast Florida area. Which is a pretty good place to fish. There's a lot of variety, You can go all the way out to the ledge. It's a long ride, but there's good fishing. Or you can stay inshore, catch kings and stuff like that, or bottom fish or whatever.
We shot at the beach, found a good pot of bogeys. One cast, we probably had 200-300.
See, it's not uncommon for the average fisherman to take a dozen or more casts to get half as many bait fish, but we carefully monitored our sonar and the little tells that the ocean gives us.
Look at that.
It just shows a little thinking goes a long way when you're fishing. Good balance helps too.
I try to stress taking care of the bait to the crew, especially pogies. They're kind of a weaker bait. They get kind of red-nosed and kind of just weaker. throughout the day.
That guy.
But you know, if you don't handle them as much, don't stick your hand wide, well, that works good. Although sometimes it doesn't work like through they.
Is it usual to get that out for the first try?
Sometimes, I mean, it's not uncommon, but sometimes they're just not there. So it takes, you know, 2 or 3 casts to get like maybe a dozen or a couple dozen at a time. Sometimes you'll see just the huge school, it's a little choppy, and you'll just see it, and it's just like easy. We got a pretty good net full of that, and we headed out a few miles off the beach to a little spot called Sally's Hole to troll. Big one right here. Good big one.
See how the water just not real full in there?
Yeah. That was a little live bait chumming. Stuff you out. So what sets y'all's boat apart from other people?
We own it. I mean, that's the big thing. Our boat is a 27-foot contender butt kicker. It's got a tower on it, and it's the envy of most people in Jacksonville. Everybody that sees it wants it, and well, you know.
Good house, is this Buck Rogers, you there? Our buddy was out there actually at one point, Captain Chad on Team Buck Rogers, and I tried to call him on the radio, and it was in Channel 8, it was kind of busy, so he told me to go to Channel 6. How about you, Buck Rogers? It's fun to play on the radio.
We've got about a 9-foot, 10-foot tiger trying to eat our jug. Paul and Taylor on the bottom.
Did you say tiger shark?
That's what he said.
Well, Paul don't have to worry, they're man eaters.
9 to 10 foot?
That'd make for some good footage, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
What did he say?
He was singing something.
How about you, Buck Rogers? I didn't hear from him again. They just want me to go away? Let's go to 6. I'm not gonna go there, but you go
should.
there.
Yeah.
That's like when you're playing football. Go long.
Yeah.
He throws it to somebody else.
Just get out of here. I don't want to talk to you anymore.
Yeah. Is there a song like that?
What?
I don't want to talk to you anymore.
Probably a bunch of them.
Yeah.
What you think?
Where's that tiger shark at?
I don't know if that was him. Yeah, PJ, I don't know if that was which is only a mile apart.
Wherever he is.
Started trolling, picked up I think a shark, maybe had another knockdown or.
And sometimes we'll actually get sharks, we'll pop it off, and they'll swim with the boat.
So after trying for the kingfish for a bit, we decided to take the more direct approach with spearsman. And so as we started reeling the lines, Jeremy discovered that we actually hooked up on a small shark.
There's probably a shark on here.
So in a way, I guess we drew first
There it
blood,
is.
but
Look at that.
that wouldn't be the last we saw of these sharks.
Welcome aboard.
Alright, when I grab him.
He is right behind the head.
Oh, look at that.
By the tail. So you gotta make sure you hold him right.
So anyways, we ended up, we headed out. We started heading out offshore with some culverts, but it was pretty rough. It's not the beautiful day we were hoping for. So we stopped in at some earlier culverts that weren't as far out, a place called PM. 0.85 to go. It was bad because earlier some guys on the radio were talking about a shark they saw out there, a tiger shark.
We've got about a 9-foot, 10-foot tiger trying to eat our jug.
You think that's how superheroes feel? They wear a lot of skin tight stuff.
Yet they seem to be able to put it on and take it off with relative ease.
Yeah, you think it'd be like quick, there's trouble. It shows them like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm here.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. So when we got out there, just before I'm ready to get in the water, a shark comes up and takes one of our baits.
Look.
What?
Oh, yeah.
You serious? That is a big shark. Probably.
And now it's time to get in the water, guys.
Are we filming?
Yes, we are.
Fish on. As we were locking off the anchor, we looked, and there's about a 8-foot shark swimming around the boat.
How big do you think the shark was?
8 to 10 foot tiger shark.
About a 12-footer. Tiger shark.
What got on there, don't we? So this. That's a good thing, though. That's a good thing. At least we know where he's at, don't we? Y'all want to power hit him when he comes up or not?
Then the hook bent, which I guess was good because what we're gonna do with a big tiger shark.
All right, you guys ready to do this?
Confident?
Divers are a little bit hesitant, to say the least. I won't put another one of these out until you're done.
You know, to tell the length of a shark in the water, look from the tip of the dorsal to the tip of the tail. You ever seen the eyes of a tiger shark? Actually, I saw that on Jaws. Don't know if it's true. Kind of like dog's eyes. How so? All black and lifeless.
So after
You see
a
anything?
brief risk analysis, we decided to ponder over it.
Is that a trick
And
question?
so we decided to head on down and see what we could spear.
Don't be afraid to shoot first, ask questions later.
I hope we didn't run across that tiger shark. In any case,
All right.
I was packing a power head, so we were kind of ready.
So, you know, we got down there and started looking around. Just looking in the bottom, in between culverts and along the edges of the reef, looking for flounder and looking for their outlines. They can be kind of tricky to see sometimes. And then just when we find them, we would stick them with a pole spear or with my spear gun and just, you know, we didn't even have to shoot it. Just basically jab it straight down. And basically, it's really not that hard to get once you see them. Just seeing them is the hard part. So, you know, we swam down there and, you know, constantly, just keeping an eye out for that tiger shark, making sure it doesn't, you know, come up behind us. Some people say sharks aren't man-eaters, some people do.
But apparently those people have never seen Jaws 1, 2, 3, or 4.
So I constantly look around, you know, just to make sure, especially with fish, because a shark could accidentally, you know, it could just be going for your fish on your stringer, and your chunk of leg. It's funny, on the Discovery Channel, they're like, sharks usually aren't a problem. You just gotta make sure you follow like these few steps to make sure it's not likely to happen to you. And like the steps were, 1, don't spearfish. 2, don't swim where sharks get their food or something like that, which is like we're doing that. So it's kind of tough for us. But I did actually see the tail of the shark, probably north shark, whichever. But it was I saw just a huge tail in a culvert. Christopher was swimming over that culvert, and I'm like,
Ooh,
dude,
nice.
don't look in that culvert.
You're beautiful.
That's a big flounder there.
Careful with the fish on it.
Pretty big lionfish, too. How'd it look down there?
Pretty good. Yeah. Now you can actually see.
We blistered a couple, but one fish hit so hard I couldn't even get the thing loose.
Kingfishing.
It's actually pretty cool too because I found a nice lure, a big old jig. Actually, I think Christopher did, but big old heavy jig that was probably recently lost, and it was pretty nice. It's a good thing about diving.
Seen it. That looks kind of new.
That's a big one too.
Yeah.
That'd be a good one down the keys. Yeah, whatever that was, a hit.
So we trolled around a little more on our surface interval, and we were getting some hits, you know, but everything just kept popping off. It was just one of those days. So we just catch and release. Yeah, it's not a conservation thing. That's a bad day thing. We had probably maybe a king, some amberjack, stuff like that. Get them on and they pop off. It's pretty good action though. It's pretty exciting. So, you know, no luck on the fishing front, so we went back down.
Anytime we had like 7 on the boat trying to get ready. They were jumping out, jumping back in. Oh, I can't go. This is not working. Crazy.
Give me that compass. But even that we didn't get anything else, we decided to hit another spot around the area. There's a barge that they'd sunk on the bottom. So it was pretty cool.
You got your stringer?
The next spot was a barge, which wasn't quite as good for flounder. I think, because it wasn't as broken up, flounder couldn't hide in between as much. But I did see a big Goliath grouper, which was cool. Fortunately, no shooter grouper, but at least we got some flounder. And a lionfish, which is actually pretty good to eat.
So yeah, lionfish. They're actually an invasive species, and there's a lot of tournaments now where like the goal is just chiefly to wipe them out. But actually they are pretty good. They're comparable with like hogfish or something like that. So when we see them, we try and grab them. Now, there have been some studies where some people will just go out. Some people will go out and just spear the lionfish, take it off the spear, leave it on the ground, and leave it for whatever fish is brave enough to eat the remains. But actually some studies suggest that it may not be a good idea because it's causing things like cuda and eels to become a little less intimidated or apprehensive about human contact because they see us as a food source and they think we're feeding them lionfish when we may not be, and bad things happen. So if you're gonna shoot a lionfish, bring them up with you. They're good to eat. We've dove this location one other time before. It was actually one of our very first dives, and it was just after a bunch of hurricanes came through, so visibility was like a foot, and you couldn't see anything. We're kind of glad that wasn't the case now, because we wanted to see that shark see it was coming.
We went back down and hoping to find some more fish to shoot. Got some more flounder. So that was cool. Shooting flounder is a lot of fun. Just finding them, sticking them, you know. exciting. They taste good too. Like pancakes of the sea or something. What are the 2 wrecks that you dove?
Well, they're in the ocean, in the Atlantic. One was a culvert, another was a wreck, but I can't disclose a specific location because we don't want everybody else going to it. I mean, that's how these fishing shows work. A lot of them, they'll tell you they're fishing at such and such a place, but really they're lying because they're somewhere else and they don't want you going to their fishing hole, so they just make up a location. Or they give you misinformation. We don't lie like that. We're better people than that, so we're just not going to tell you.
Well, we started out in the southeast hole, and then we went to the PMPG.
We got up and we started doing a little trolling, and then we realized some storms were building up, which is typical. So we started heading in and actually started getting bad. Luckily we made it inside the river, but saw a few water spouts starting to form. A little bit of lightning, which is no fun on the water. So, did you think any of the storms would be a problem that day?
Not particular. When you're under the water, you know, the rain, lightning, that can get to you.
He just really loves to dive. So, you know, we traded our boat, 'cause that's what we are. Regular fishermen. Didn't get the kings like we hoped, but we got some flounder and we hooked them, released them, but we hooked them. A lot of people can't do that, so
It's true.